Star Report. I am your host, Star. Welcome to the show. It's Friday evening, and Judge Greg Mathis, his wife, has filed for divorce after 39 years of marriage. Almost 4 decades. We're going to be sensitive. I'm going to give you most of the details that I have. I have not seen the court documents, but this is a 61-year-old woman. Her name is Linda. She filed in Los Angeles Superior Court yesterday, which was August the 22nd. Irreconcilable differences, okay? And they separated on July the 17th, 2024. Linda Mathis, okay? She's a former educator. I've got some of her information here according to Instagram. Former Detroit public school teacher and owner of Children's Advanced Learning Center, okay? If I had to speculate, and I'm going to, Judge Greg Mathis has got to be very, very careful here. There's an old saying, it's cheaper to keep her. But this is not just his wife, but this is the mother of his 4 children, okay? His children, Jade, 39 years of age, Camara, 36 years of age, Greg Jr., 35, and Amir, 34. She's also the grandmother, possibly great-grandmother to his offspring as well. He's got to be careful. In my opinion, she may be going through depression. His very popular syndicated talk show that many of us have seen over the years, 24 seasons, started back in September 1999. It ended in May 2023. Again, just speculating. He probably took interest in someone, you know, at the job, a production assistant, a producer, someone who he, you know, developed a relationship with. And that's why you have to be careful working with people because, you know, you have a common interest and you start to catch feelings. Again, I'm just assuming. I don't know. And since the show ended again in 2023, he probably, you know, wanted to continue that relationship. Whereas his wife, Linda, thought that, you know, they were going to spend the twilight of their years together, traveling and so on and so forth, but such was not the case. So again, she filed for divorce. She's not asking for child support because, again, the kids are grown as hell, but she is asking for, you know, alimony. Married since the mid-'80s, does she deserve, you know, a good portion of what he has accomplished? I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. She's been there through the rough days, the building blocks, as not just a source of you know, someone to lean on, but someone to help him create what he has created, and he has created a historical show. Okay, so is she a mammy? I'm gonna say yeah. I'm going to say it. Even though she may be going through depression, even though, you know, she's the one that filed for divorce, is she, when you look at her picture here, not that she has to be looking bummy and homely, but looks like she's kind of got that Vivica A. Fox thing where she wants to be pampered, taken shopping at 61 years of age. Mammy, never, ever satisfied, okay? That's my top story, okay? Judge Greg Mathis, his wife, files for divorce after 39 years of age. I've got more speculation I want to come back to in a second, but I want to address this showrunner right now. Tethers versus foundational Black Americans, inspired by, you know, the bickering on the show here and throughout the nation over the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, you know, the bickering. And I want to ask you guys the question, are tethers winning the battle for America? Not the war, but are tethers winning the battle for America? If you're new to this show, this is the objective perspective. I want everyone to speak. I give you the last word, voice your opinion. Don't worry about me, my ideology, philosophy. I'm just the vehicle through which the hate flows, objective hate. But the tethers versus foundational Black Americans. And let me also say to some of you foundational Black Americans, you guys have to be a little bit more active with your research, historical facts. You can't just be up on social media saying we was already here, and then when somebody asks you a question, you don't have the answer. Have you done any research with regards to your lineage? Your lineage. Do you know where you come from? What tribe, if at all? You know, slaves brought in from Africa. Slaves brought in from Africa to America. We've already had that discussion. Less than 500,000, but they were bred like cattle over the centuries. Okay, so I know it sounds cool and chic and hip to say, yeah, I'm FBA, we was already here, but you know, you're going to have to prove it, especially if you're talking about reparations. You're going to have to prove it, right? If you're a tether, let me say I've had some great working relationships and friendships with tethers, quote unquote. And I find a lot of them to be honorable, good people, well-mannered, good-natured. I can work and get along with anybody. If you're about that scroller, we have a common interest, and that's the paper chase, all right? So that's my showrunner, Tethers versus Foundational Black Americans. Also, guys, I did not see Kamala Harris' speech last night at the DNC. I heard it was only 30 some odd minutes. Huh? Not even an hour. So she couldn't get busy with all the theatrics and the props and the cooning in the audience over the last couple of days. She couldn't spit it for an hour. That speaks volumes to me, because you see, she's gonna have to dig down deep into her crotch when it comes time to debate with Trump. You can only smile and giggle for but so long. And I've seen some other clips on Instagram and YouTube where she's really getting exposed, not knowing certain historical facts, something with regards to women's sports. And she thinks that the brackets only started a couple of years ago. Call in if you like, all right? It's Friday night. And a little bit later, we may talk about mortgage rates here in America and the disillusion that some people continue to go down this road of flipping houses. I think that's one of the dumbest things to do, but I'll give you some more context a little bit later, okay? I see you guys on the phone. Sit tight. 1051 fam, I got your donation via PayPal. Thank you for tapping in. I also see Crown. Crown, I might want to hear from you early, man. Do you have time to tap in? Okay. Bernard, I got your donation. Thank you. Let me see what Bernard's saying. Now, so I don't hate anything or anybody, Bernard, but, I appreciate your support. This is the objective perspective, and my philosophy is objective hate, okay? But thank you for tapping in. Okay, Blade says, I'm guessing the topic was inspired. Blade, this topic, showrunner, has been inspired by many, many people. Again, over the last year and a half or so, but you made reference to Uncle Luke taking shots at Tariq Nasheed. I saw a small clip of that. I think it was on Instagram, but call in if you like, all right? Lastly, let me see. It's one more thing I want to mention with regards to, my other YouTube channel, Squirrel Party. Did anybody see Born Logic? Born Logic. If you go to the community section in the Star Report, there's a link to Squirrel Party, and you'll see who Born Logic is. I want to talk to some of you about that particular channel a little bit later if you find the time, all right? Let's get the show started here. Area code 202. Good evening. It's Friday. A few topics on the table. Are you there?
Crown from DC. I'm here. FBA all day. Let's get to it.
Good to hear from you, man. How's your week been going?
Lucrative, doing overtime, getting to this money just like you.
Nice.
Same old stuff.
Nice. Okay, so my showrunner, Tethers versus Foundational Black Americans, a lot of feuding, bickering, but I think productive dialogue, if you will, over the last year and a half, maybe even more. Where do you want to start? My question, are the Tethers winning the battle for America? It's just a question.
I mean, they're only winning the battle because the dominant society is controlling America, and we're here to not only push back, but to get what we're owed, amongst other things, when it comes to the dominant society. So the tethers are only a buffer. They're only pawns in this war. But I agree with you. I think it's productive. The conversation is productive on both ends because it's waking up different communities, most importantly, our community, people that, FBA, Foundation of Black Americans, people that have never even heard the term, people that don't even know what a tether is, the difference between a Barack Obama and a Kamala Harris, however you want to put it. You know, these different people, black faces that have been put in these certain places to mislead us on a general basis. So I think it's a productive conversation, like you said. I agree. But winning the battle for America, you have to understand America in order to win the battle for America. You can't just be a pawn. You know what I mean? So you have to understand where you're being used and where you're not being used. So I don't think they're winning the battle, if you will.
Let me challenge what you're saying just to be objective here. I think that the tethers are winning the battle. Note, I said battle, not the war. Over the decades, having done media, radio, television, and things like that, I can tell you that the corporations, the radio vehicles, they target the tethers and they program music to keep people in a state of delirium. They don't want them being too woke, if you will. They've even turned woke into a bad word, but that's another story. And just like, you know, when I say I don't talk to the 85%, the deaf, the dumb, and the blind. You can come in if you like, but that's not my target demo. I think that they are winning the battle. I think a lot of quote unquote Americans are consumer driven. They don't like to read. They can read. They just don't like to read. Your thoughts on that?
The battle, I wouldn't say the battle because, for example, look at the information that's being put out about Kamala Harris, all of her truths. We're using social media to our advantage to let the population know this is not a black person. This is just a black face that they're putting in a position to mislead you women that are allowing to be misled, mostly the black females, unfortunately. But look at the family that she presented. She has a white husband, a zaddy. She has white stepkids now. The family that she has, her two nieces that they had at the DNC. It's just they're bringing out a bunch of non sequiturs that don't mean anything. We're pointing it out. So, and I guarantee you they didn't think that we would stand tall and point that out. So I would say they're not winning the battle because she has to do all of these stunts, pull off all of these little tricks in order to get our attention and get our vote. It's not working and it's not going to happen. So I would say they're not winning the vote. Kamala Harris is the perfect example.
Hang on, Crown. You're talking about Kamala Harris and the Democrats. And to be fair, I'm a Trump supporter. I voted for Trump twice. I'm going to vote for him again. Trump is a businessman, right. But Trump, let's not get it twisted. He's not repping FBA either. Okay. So with regards to my theory that the tethers are winning, there's many foundational Black Americans who are still in a state of slumber. You know, would you agree that the people who are on social media, even though they may have good intentions, they don't do the research?
I would agree. And again, it's for us on the grassroots to continue to push the truth, not the narrative, but the truth about what's going on and how people are being misled in the different ways they're being misled by the dominant society. Okay. So it's just up to us to stand tall as a unit, stay on code. Donald Trump, yes, I agree. He's a businessman. We'll probably get more out of him. We'll probably get more out of him than a Kamala Harris or any other Democratic politician. So we just got to stand tall, stay on code, reparations, tangibles. And listen, Trump, if you're listening, Republicans, if you're listening, come talk to the grassroots. Do not talk to a Van Jones who's sitting up here crying or Roland Martin. Don't talk to none of these clowns. Come talk to the grassroots. Go to Chicago. Them folks in Chicago are standing tall saying these migrants need to get the hell up out of here. Yeah. Go talk to them. Don't go to these churches and all that other clown crap. We ain't dealing with that. Come to the grassroots. Tariq Nasheed extended his invitation to both parties at the History Museum in LA. Come talk to the grassroots. Don't continue to do the nonsense. But again,
Crowd, can I jump in since you brought Tariq's name in? And to be clear, Tariq is not the leader of FBA. He's FBA by lineage, just like a lot of other people. Did you purchase Microphone Check the documentary?
I went to go see it myself. I went to go see it.
Gotcha. Okay.
I went to go see it. I support.
I had to ask because I've been doing my own consensus here, and I got people calling in claiming FBA they didn't go see it and they haven't purchased it. But anyway, hey, I appreciate the call, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're off to a good start. That was Crown. Guys, let me give you a little background. According to urbandictionary.com, tether, a term used by members of the American Negro ethnic group, FBA ADOS, to describe African and or Caribbean immigrants who moved to America for economic opportunity, using the benefits of the American Negro civil rights struggle while simultaneously disparaging the history, legacy, and lineage of the Negro American movement. Okay, that's what a tether is for those who don't know. FBA, foundational Black Americans, are the descendants of the Black people who survived one of the greatest atrocities in recorded history. FBA are the descendants of the Black people who built the United States from scratch, and that's according to official FBA.com. I want to hear from some of you. Again, tethers, feel free to speak. I want more people to be forthright with regards to their opinions and their views. All right. Crown, I got your donation again. Thank you so much. The DoorDashian. Okay. Do you want to call in? Oh, I want to get some phone calls rolling here tonight. Let me go to area code 919. Good evening. Judge Greg Mathis' wife, divorce. Are you up to speed? 919.
Good evening, Star.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Who's this?
Hey,
sir, can you pick up the pace? Can you hear me? Come on. Get off the speakerphone, the headset. Don't kill the vibe. I got to get you out of here. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay, let's get him out of here. Folks, please don't call in on speakerphones or janky headsets. I like to keep the tempo rolling here. Area code 678, good evening. It's Friday. Are you there?
Hey, Star, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. How are you?
Hey, it's Tyrone. We met about 4 years ago. I was one of you.
I don't remember, sir, but you have the floor now. Who cares about 4 years ago?
Okay.
You have the floor, sir. Okay, he hung up. Let me go back to Judge Greg Mathis for a second. Born in 1960, okay, former Michigan 36th District Court judge, distinguished author, television producer, and motivational speaker. So his show is in reruns, syndication. The second longest serving television arbitrator ever, behind Judge Judy. So he's retired from television. Yeah, he's got time now on his hands, and I don't know if he has health issues. I can't imagine his wife divorcing him because he's got health issues. Does she have health issues? Anybody know? Is she kicking up dust? To be, again, objective, I went to her IG page and I scrolled down. She's got what appears to be a beautiful family. They travel, or they have traveled in the past. Got a lot of young kids on there. I want to be sensitive about that. 73,000 followers. Is she making her play? Is she tired of him? Is she just tired of being his wife in the shadow, kind of like Denzel Washington's wife? Anybody ever notice when Denzel Washington has done interviews, he makes it a point to introduce his wife, which is a good thing, but he kind of overdoes it with what she's done and her credentials, and it's I don't know. it's a little much. Let me go to area code 213. Good evening. We're talking about Judge Greg Mathis, his wife filing for divorce, or the showrunner.
What's up, big homie? This the Gangsta of Love.
Hey, what's up, man? Good to hear from you. It's cracking.
Not a whole lot, man. So I heard about Greg Judge Mathis, and it kind of hurt my heart a little bit, Star, because I'm married, I'm in love, and that's all I talk about when I call your show is my wife and me and being in the closet. But you would think after 39 years of being married, and I'm speculating, I think it might have been some infidelity, because you got to think at a woman her age. I mean, yeah, he might depart with her and she can get half of his estate, but I don't think dudes is out there checking for 50-year-old women, to be honest with you. And that's not
61.
She's not good looking.
Hang on. 60, not 51, 61.
60. Yeah, 61. So like, ain't no niggas out there checking for no 61-year-old woman unless they trying to get a bag. But I'm thinking it was some infidelity. Like you said, he probably was at work, came across some young tail, and then she went through the phone, seen the text messages, and she's like, hey, I'm out. But I was reading it was irreconcilable differences, but I'm thinking they just put that out there because they don't want the
right.
truth to come out. But that's still bad, though. I hope.
Well, that's a term that can be an umbrella for many, many things. But when you say infidelity, 39 years of the same person, and you've been married how many years? I forget.
9.
Okay. 39 years. I can tell you, man, after 5 years, you get tired of the person's laugh, their jokes. You get tired of the stupid giggle. Certain family members connected to them, their little idiosyncrasies, things that can become annoying. So maybe it wasn't infidelity. Maybe they just got tired of each other. Maybe they were roommates for the last decade. And maybe she just said, hey, I don't want to, spend my final years with him. Do you think that's a possibility? Again, 61.
I think it was infidelity. I just don't think a woman's going to up and leave after 39 years of marriage. You got to think they was together in his prime and her prime. So she's used to him and knows what pushes his buttons and vice versa. I'm definitely thinking it's infidelity. I mean, assuming they're older Christians and took their values, they come from a different era where you really don't get a divorce unless it is infidelity. But even old school women didn't divorce their husbands because of that. That's more of a younger thing, at least.
Bingo. Stay there for a second. I don't think he got caught. He probably told her, or he probably very nonchalantly didn't care if she found out. Do you think that she's kicking up dust for no good reason? Again, she noted, pardon me, in the court documents here, that they were separated as of July the 17th.
So, yeah, I mean, hey, it could have been how you just said it. Hey, I'm having an affair with this young chick, and I ain't trying to let her go. So she's like, well, you know what? I'm finna take half, and you do what you got to do. But that's the problem. When you get to be an older man and you come across some young tail, and it's just like, man, like I ain't experienced this before. It's kind of one of those things where he probably just got caught up. But again, we speculating. I don't know. He seemed like a good dude, but at the end of the day, you and I both know that even the righteous men in the Bible, they all fell victim to what? A woman. So who knows? I mean, that's just what I think. But I really wanted to call and give some insight on FBA, if you don't mind.
I want to go back for a second. You see, we have a television persona of him. He could be a very pompous, egotistical piece of shit. And maybe
absolutely.
Hang on. And maybe she just said, I can't do it anymore. She may have been tired of him 20 years ago. The kids are grown now. I already read the ages and the names of the kids in case you didn't catch that. 39 years of age, 36 years of age, 35 and 34. Maybe she wants to spend time with the grandkids minus him. Or maybe he's a secretive homosexual. And she's a Christian, as you point out, and she said, this is not godly. I'm out of here. let's finish up on that, and I want to ask you about, with all due respect, your 9 years, and then we can get into FBA versus Tethers. What do you think about him being a possible not loser, piece of shit, and she's tired of him?
So I definitely think he could be a piece of shit. You got to think any man who's making six figures,
seven figures,
TV, like seven. Yo, yeah, 7 figures. He's definitely double-digit millionaire. I don't know if that's a two-play, but he got a jet black hairline, like good-looking man, no homo, as an older man. So he's got women approaching him on a daily basis. So, that might have drew some insecurities for her. Yeah. And then you just got to think, as a man, how long can you say, damn, I'm going to turn this hot tail down? Like, you can only, like, at some point, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to hit one of these broads, and we're going to keep it on the low. I got money here. Here's some hush money. And she found out. You got to remember, she's been pampered for 20 years. So she probably got a private detective and was like, look, I found out what you was doing. You need to come clean. Gotcha. And then who knows? But I don't think he's a homo. He don't give me that vibe. I think he's a alpha male, like you said, and been out here putting in work on the side.
No, I think he could be a secretive homosexual, and you keep saying he's good looking. You keep saying he's good looking. I think he's a weirdo with those stupid round glasses. But anyway, so you've been married for 9 years, and without getting too intrusive, the loving and the sex has slowed down. Yes, it wasn't like it was 5 years ago, 7 years ago, right?
So let me say this: it's not something that I just like, I gotta have it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, like I still love my wife. I'm still aroused by her. She's still gorgeous to me, but it's not like, man, I gotta get this because it's there. Yeah. It's mine. It's like, that's my wife. Yeah. It's there.
Just there.
Yeah, it's there. It ain't going nowhere.
Can you cover up? I'm trying to eat my sandwich. Can you please cover yourself? Anyway, all right, man. So Tethers versus foundational Black Americans. Where do you stand? I forget. What is your position in that?
So, as you know, I'm FBA. That's for life. Tariq Nasheed is where I heard about it because I listened to his show as well. But when you said you were asking the question, are Tethers winning? And they're not winning in no way, shape, form, or fashion. I heard a woman on your show yesterday talking down, saying how lazy we was and all this, that, and the third. Those ain't facts because, and I ain't even bragging, but man, listen, when I show people my check, they feelings be hurt. Mm-hmm. So we ain't lazy, and I'm not even, quote, the richest out of all my friends. I got friends that's borderline millionaires and millionaires.
Can you give me a source to your claims? You've tried to denounce her. I'm not saying you're wrong, but can you give me a source to back up your claims?
So as far as what?
What you just stated, FBAs are not lazy.
Man, listen, I work 15, 16-hour days.
Not you as an individual. We're speaking about the group itself. Can you give me some type of
well, we built America. We built America. White people didn't build America. They brought us over to do the work. So there's no way we could be lazy. And I don't know what she is as far as ethnicity, but
I don't want to keep going back to her from yesterday. I want you and I have a discussion.
So let me just say how they winning, Star. Can I say how FBA is winning?
Go ahead.
If you look at our culture, guess who wants to be like us? Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, we got braids. They doing rap music like us. They women want to bang us. They want to be like us. We don't want to be like them. When's the last time you seen a FBA say, I'm trying to be a Jamaican? Or Look, I love Bob Marley, but guess what? They was trying to be like us way back then. Yeah. Nobody FBA is trying to be Puerto Rican, Dominican, Jamaican, Haitians. They come over from their poor countries and benefit off us. In no way, shape, or form do FBAs want to be like them. I mean, that's not even a no-brainer. You look at them Hispanic videos and you listen to all that stuff, that's all hip hop. That's us. We started that. They know that. They want to be like us, and women love us. That's why you got to be careful out there.
Let me ask you a question, Gangster of Love, before you go, because you still,
what's up?
hang on, you still didn't give me a source. You gave me a long rundown of things, and I can appreciate that, but you didn't give me a source. Is it fair to say that FBAs built America under chains and whips? Or did they get up and go to jobs that they were compensated for? Chains and whips.
Both. So when we were brought over here on the slave ships, we were forced to build this country. But mind you, all the things that we invented, the light bulb, the fridge.
So you weren't already here. You're claiming FBA, but you just said when we came over here on slave ships.
I'm a FBA. I'm a FBA because I looked up my lineage. If you look up a place, it's pronounced Sugar Lot, Mississippi, but it's not spelled that way.
Right.
That's where my people come from originally. Okay. And
so then don't tell me about those. Hang on. So don't tell me about those that came over here on slave ships, because you're claiming that you were already here. Yes.
As far as I can trace my lineage back, yes. Okay. Sugar Lot, Mississippi. Okay. My great-great-great-grandmother's husband was the original Buffalo Soldier. Okay. They still have his artifacts, like in somewhere in our family tree. Okay. So FBA all day. I'm out, Star. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna send a donation.
Hang on, before you go, I appreciate your support. You purchased a copy of Microphone Check?
I did not, but guess what? I did purchase, and when I go,
that's fine. That's fine. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
I got an FBA flag.
Okay, right.
I got an FBA flag. They don't have what you call it in stock. When I went to order, it was all out because I guess they're doing some editing.
Gotcha.
But that's real. I'm gonna show my FBA flag. I'm out, Star.
Salute. Okay. This is the objective perspective, folks. Okay. I would like to get some tethers on the line to speak openly and freely. Okay. But Judge Greg Mathis, his wife, has filed for divorce, 61 years of age. I can only speculate. I think in a time like today when people, again, are dealing with a lot of mental health and depression, he's got to be very careful how he deals with this. I can't see anything about a prenuptial agreement, and I don't know if that's necessarily a concern on either part. Maybe he already acknowledges that she has been there for him and they've been there for each other. Again, she's a former Detroit public school teacher and owner of Children's Advanced Learning Center. So it's not like she's just, somebody he picked up in a club and, she's been a well-kept woman. She looks like she's been a strong contributor to teaching. I just want to say that, right? Hey, Penelope, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Okay, she says she's enjoying the discussion. Thank you so much. If you want to chime in, phone line's open. David, I got your email. Star, did that caller get in his feelings and hang up because you didn't recognize him? Goofy ass nigga. I don't know. Listen, I've been saying for decades, friend to none of you. I coined that term, friends to none of you. So, it's not that I'm trying to be rude and dismissive, but no, I'm not going to sit here and, I remember we spoke. Yo, how you been, fam? Yo, love is love. No. Trending topics. That's what we're doing here. Let's go to area code 301. Good evening. Judge Greg Mathis' wife has filed for divorce. Are you up to speed? Do you want to talk about the showrunner? 30.
I want to talk. Hey, Stop.
Good evening.
Good evening, man. I want to talk about the topic about tether and FBA.
Yes, sir.
I'm originally from Africa.
Okay.
I'm Sierra Leone.
Okay.
I moved out to the United States back in '96, and I have to be honest with you, I was extremely lazy. I was an African man that moved to the United States, extremely lazy.
Okay.
I have to say, I learned my work ethics by looking at African-American men that I used to work with. They were so hardworking. And that's where I learned my work ethics from. So when it comes to FBA and Tether, there's a lot that Tether come over here, they learn from African American. I'm a perfect example of that.
Okay.
There's a lot of brothers here that I met over here that were hardworking brothers that, I just follow after. And then I learned how to start working hard and learn the American system. I think the problem is, as Black people, we need to come together. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you're from the Caribbean, if you're from Africa, if you're FBA, we need to find a way to look at each other and say, hey, brothers, we need to come together. Because when Caucasian people come in, it doesn't matter if they're from Russia, if they're from Ukraine, if they're from the Netherlands, they all consider themselves as Caucasian people and they have a code. I think we need to stay on code and work together. That's what I think. I don't think FBA brothers are lazy. I think they're hardworking. I learn from them. I learn the swag from them. I just think as people, we just need to come together. That's my point I want to give.
How old were you when you came here? How old were you when you came here?
I was 18 when I came here.
Okay.
In 96.
So you were raised in West Africa. That's where you spent your formative years, yes?
Yes. I was raised in West Africa. Yes.
And you came here and you've downgraded. And even though you may be influenced by FBA art, literature, and things like that, and FBA women are very, very attractive, you've downgraded.
Very attractive. You've
downgraded because you come from a place where it's all about tribes. Now, did you come here from a tribe that was of a lower class? Why would you come to America at 18 years of age? Again, you spent your formative years in West Africa. Why would you come here and then downgrade and join a losing team? And you're using terms like brother. Brother is not a term in the continent of Africa that means anything, right?
Brother is a term actually because, listen, you say I downgraded, but I think I upgraded because where I come from lack of electricity.
Okay.
I walk barefoot in 120-degree weather. So for me to come here and have the things that I have and all the opportunity,
okay.
There are parts of Africa that have 50% unemployment. Mm-hmm. So for me to come here and have a job, I think that's an upgrade, Star.
Okay. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want to make sure I know who I'm talking to. Why haven't you lost the accent, or are you trolling? You came here in 90 what?
No.
90 what?
I came here in 96. I do have an accent.
No,
I
said, why haven't you lost it? Why haven't you lost that accent from 96?
Because I never lost my accent because I always want to speak properly. I don't want to imitate. I want to transition as far as learning the Western way of doing things, but I don't want to imitate the language because I have an accent because I speak in my dialect and I speak other languages, but I don't have to speak exactly how the American people are speaking. But as long as you can understand me, you know what I'm saying?
I can understand you well. Listen, I got to ask, man. I don't know who I'm talking to. A lot of people calling in, they're trolling. But okay, I can appreciate what you're saying. So you do now embrace more than ever FBA culture, art. Are you a business owner or are you a worker at this point in time?
I'm a worker. I work in a sales. I'm in a medical facility group, but I'm in the sales department.
Okay. Do you have a college degree?
Yes, I have a bachelor in business.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the call, man. Thank you for chiming in. Thank you.
Yeah, and also, Star, if I can talk to the Greg Mathis thing.
Yeah, his wife has filed for divorce, 61 years of age. Her name is Linda.
I think you're right. I think he's an arrogant. First of all, he's an arrogant dude. I think he's very egotistical, and I think you're right. I think a lot of men, married men, I've heard that from people who are married. A lot of married men has underlying homosexuality. And I think you're right. I think everything that you say in your point on. I just want to confirm that.
Well, I'm just speculating, but I thank you for the call, man. Thank you.
All right, man. Thanks, man.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
Okay. Somebody tapping in from, well, he's born and raised in Sierra Leone. Okay. Yeah, Judge Mathis. I've watched his show over the years. He's a weird looking guy, and he gets really snippy with people. I mean, he was a judge, but those stupid ass round glasses he's been wearing, for the last however long, couple of years, are just a turn off. TJ got your donation. Okay. Also, Andre, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in, sir. Thank you for tapping in. Bernard says tethers are winning the battle, but they will lose the war. In my opinion, we're at a very unique time in American society, and the internet, allows so much by way of just exploitation and people who willingly dehumanize themselves willingly. Let's go to area code 832. Is this Moon Juice? 832. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
How are you, sir? Thank you for tapping in. Where do you want to start?
It's crazy. You got two Sierra Leoneans that call back to back.
Okay.
But I was actually born here.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's okay if I can talk on the tether conversation.
Please. Tethers versus foundational Black Americans. I'm just asking, are tethers winning the battle? Just asking.
Yeah, I'd say yeah, because unfortunately, I guess you could say we the tethers get the bad rep because we do a bunch of things. Like, for instance, in Hollywood, you have somebody like Issa Rae, and she's faking the front like she's the FBA. Then you also have obviously we already know the big one, Barack Obama, but then you talk about the Hollywood industry in itself. I don't know, like this conversation with the FBA thing. I honestly, I follow. I'm more so an ally to the 4-letter organization. Okay. I don't know if I'm allowed to bring that name up.
Sure. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm more so an ADOS ally.
Okay.
With the FBA thing, I feel like it's like you said, they really need to do more research, because even the guy who called the other day who stated he's from the U.S. Virgin Islands, it's like, do you not know what that you're from the Virgin Islands? You're not from the soil of the U.S., you know?
Right.
But yeah, all in all, I just say in terms of the battle that's going on right now, yeah, the Tethers got it. It is what it is. But I'm saying, everywhere I go, I guess you could say I'm like a vanguard for ADOS. Like, I'm always speaking up, even amongst my family members, even amongst this Kamala thing, like this whole DNC watch party that my wife been having in the house and shit. It's crazy, man.
Try to watch the language, please. Try to watch the language.
Oh, my bad.
Go ahead.
My bad.
Go ahead.
But yeah, other than that, yeah, like I said, man, unfortunately, well, however people want to see it, the Tethers are winning the battle because they're taking advantage of the opportunities that they were given. And like the other guy said, he came here saying we all need to get together, but he's not speaking the other part. Like, we all need to get together, but I am okay if the ADOS people get their reparations. Like, you got to add that. You can't just say, we all need to get together, because we're all not the same.
Right.
I don't know what tribe he's from in Sierra Leone. My tribe, we actually sold those mass population in South Carolina.
Let's talk
That's
about
like
it.
my tribe. We did that.
Yeah.
Like, we did that. I don't know if he's the Mende tribe. That's the tribe that I belong to.
Okay.
But yeah, like, we did that. Like, Charlemagne the God did his DNA, and that's where he comes from, Sierra Leone. Okay. And he's a Mende. Oh. Like, where did go?
That makes sense. I don't know him like that, but that makes sense. The reason why he does what he does. He's a tether. Go ahead.
But yeah, we're the so even amongst my tribe, we have hierarchy.
Yeah.
So I'm the highest. I'm the original. They call us the Gormende people. We're the ones who went in from Mali. Mansa Musa's tribe.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Sierra Leone. We kicked everybody's butt. The president now of our country, he is our subordinate, but he's of our tribe because it was like a get down or lay down thing. Everybody in that country, not everybody, but the southern side of the country, we will come in, say, hey, we going to marry one of your wives and have kids with them, blase, blase. I'm just going on a quick little history just to let you know.
Stay with me for a second. You said you were born and raised here, but your family is from Sierra Leone, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Mansa Musa, one of the richest men, if not the richest man on the planet at one time, yes?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Allegedly, yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's a fact. But now, was that his tribe? I forget. And when people like him, because they didn't use the word kings, that wasn't what the term that they used. But when people like him died, they buried the slaves with him alive. Yes.
No, that's more so of it's a sect in the Yoruba tribe. I don't know. That's Nigeria.
Okay.
We have no connection to them.
Their slaves were so dedicated when one of the, I'll just say leaders, but I'm making reference to a king. When he died, they would bury his slaves with him alive to serve him.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, like that's a Nigerian tribe, and we don't know nothing. We don't know nothing about them.
Gangster Nigerians. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, I just want to. I'm glad I went right after that other guy because, sometimes these guys come and they fake the front. Like if he goes back to Sierra Leone, he's gonna have a driver, a maid, all those things. Like these are the things. It is what it is. Like in order for you to come to America, in order for you to come to America, you have to have money. I don't care what anybody says. Like you're of the top, I say 10% of your country. Right. So I get it. He's saying he came here and he learned from the Black Americans, which it might be true. It is what it is. But it wasn't like that for those that came in like the 80s or the 70s, like my parents and aunts and uncles, those people, they had an issue if you even applied to an HBCU. Like, come on, man.
Now, hang on a second. I want you to speak freely. I know you said you were born and raised here, and I'm not asking you or I'm not trying to put a battery on your back to hate on FBAs, but it needs to be clear, if it's not already, to a lot of FBAs that people are coming here and from places where, such as your family, and they're coming here not to necessarily fit in, but to take over. Yes?
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like that for my family. I don't know for the others, but because a lot of people come, they get government benefits, retire, and the money goes to their checks over there, where the minimum wage is probably like 50 cents, and they're living like kings,
right,
off of $2,000 a month.
But whilst they're here,
for my family,
it's a clear understanding. We are working together. We are pooling our resources. Don't spend money at McDonald's 4 days a week. Don't find yourself in Walmart and these other places, just constantly feeding someone else's machine. I just want to see if that's still the thinking, because that was from my generation and those who came up behind me. They were very much about pooling their resources. But you can go ahead and finish up.
Yeah, I don't know if that's more so my family background.
Okay.
I know it's just more so like, hey, we just don't eat McDonald's because a taste thing or a preference.
Right.
I don't think it was more so of the latter or what you just said. But yeah, the only thing we really do in terms of pooling resources, honestly, is Osusu thing, like where we do our little loans and stuff.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can. Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the call, man.
All right, no problem, man.
Thank you. Okay. Quick story. Early 80s, when I first moved to Brooklyn, New York, hanging out with, you know already, Shower Posse guys. One of the guys, he was fresh off the boat from yard. We were buying food on Flatbush Avenue, and I went to McDonald's. He had never been to McDonald's. We go there. He ordered a Big Mac because I said, hey, man, you should get a Big Mac. He eats it. Not even a half an hour later. He's throwing up, vomiting. Got mad at me for, taking him there. He said, man, me can no eat this type of food. It was, I guess, it was such a difference in the saturated fat and other things. And that was back when McDonald's was at least decent. Now it's just pure disgusting. Threw up, sweating, hives. And I only saw him 2 more times. He didn't want to hang out with me no more because I took him to McDonald's. I just had to tell you that. Guys, sit down on the phones. Let me go through some of the cash apps here. Alex, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Alex says, Greg Mathis' wife caught him with Stacy galore. I haven't even put the boy on the table yet. I was going to get there, but thank you. A boy. Might be a boy. A nigga with the wig. Maybe Judge Greg Mathis, found himself. But thank you for your donation. Sir Shad, thank you for tapping in. Salute to Janet and FBJ for giving Sunday some smoke yesterday. Okay, well, listen, I think they all had valid points, to be fair. But as long as you guys can be on the line together to talk, that's what's important. Hey, Tara, I got your donation. Many of us tethers assimilated. We need unity. Okay. I can understand that, and I can respect that to some degree. If you have assimilated, did you assimilate with foundational Black Americans? What is your background, Tyra? Not that you have to go into a deep explanation, but did you upgrade or downgrade? It's different now. Again, the older West Indians that I came up with in the late 70s, early 80s, they were not trying to downgrade, if you will, and intertwine with Yankees. But, things are different now. Thank you so much for chiming in. Luis, I got your donation. We built America with incentive. The whip. Pow! Yeah. Hey, Stacy Galore. Let me get Stacy's information on the screen. StacyGalore.com. Stacy, thank you for tapping in. And Stacy, I know I keep saying this to you, but please keep me posted via email when you post new content on your website so we can post that in the community section. All right? StacyGalore.com. Thank you so much for your continued support. I am playful. Thank you for tapping in. She says, I bet he has another family. Oh, yeah, that's a very good speculation. Yeah. And again, Linda Mathis, 61 years of age. She probably has endured a lot of his celebrity, transgressions, if you will. But their children, again, I'm going to give you the ages again, 39, 36, 35, and 34. They're all out of the house. He's now retired from his syndicated talk show. And maybe he's healthy and Linda's healthy, and now's the time that she does want to travel. Baby, let's go to the Canary Islands. Let's go to I don't know, east or the south of France. And I am playful says he's probably got another family now. He's probably raising little mulatto babies. Doing too much. And Linda just said, I can't do this no more. You've pushed me to the limit. Thank you for your donation. I am playful. Blade tapping in. Okay, I'll get back to Blade. Can you send me a link? I saw the thumbnail. I did not see the video that you're talking about. Hang on a second. Somebody tapping in from area code 708. Good evening. Judge Mathis' wife filing for divorce, or Tethers versus Foundational Black Americans. Are you there?
Tetherers versus Foundational Black Americans.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah, that's the topic I want to speak about.
Please.
Tetherers, they are winning right now. They are winning. And I want to just name a few of them.
Please.
We're going to say the social media thing, like you were talking about, Castanet. We got DJ Academics. We got Issa Rae. You know what I mean? All these people are winning, and they're controlling, like you said, the narrative with the radio programming and things like that. So I'm going to agree with you on that. Kamala Harris.
Well, I didn't call those names out in particular, but there is a wave of the, as we used to say back in the days, peace to the nation of gods and earths, the 85%, the deaf, the dumb, and the blind. We are literally experiencing a wave of those who are anti-American and as you just pointed out, the new vanguards. Go ahead.
And there you go. And it's very much so a correlation in between all that stuff that you were saying and what you're saying. I'm a little nervous right now because I ain't never, did a laugh thing. But
take your time.
Yeah, but I agree with you 100%.
Take your time.
I agree with you 100%. That's all I need to say though. But like you were saying earlier, you've been from radio back in the day. You know how this thing goes. Mm-hmm. And I sit up and I look at this type of thing too, and it's very much so a correlation, like I was saying in the beginning.
Are you from the north or the south, the Midwest? Where are you located?
I'm from the south.
Okay. You don't have to follow my lead. You know how old I am. I was born in 1964, but I see a lot of tethered behavior from foundational Black Americans, and when I question it, I'm wrong. I don't like to see.
Oh, dog.
I don't like to see grown ass men walking around in slides and Crocs. I'm thinking to myself, "Damn, nigga, how'd you get so comfortable? How'd you get so?"
Oh yeah, well,
come on,
Sean Cletos and jeans. You rocking Sean Cletos and jeans.
Oh
Come on
God.
now, man. Open toe sandals.
Open toe sandals. Oh my God.
I get you. But yeah, we back to they comfortable. You know what I mean? This is the algorithm of the I don't know. But yeah, it was good talking to you, Star, man.
Yes,
I've been a fan of yours for a while.
Okay.
And I just wanted to call in and support and just chime in on what you're talking about. I agree with a lot of things you're saying, a lot of points that you hit.
Appreciate
and I mess
call.
with you, man.
Thank you, man.
I'll be calling back in. Save the number, man.
Salute. Okay.
No.
It's very easy to call Judge Greg Mathis' wife a mammy, say she can't play her position. It's very easy to do that, but he may be doing too much now. Again, it's not like she was just some thought or somebody who he picked up on the side of the road. When you look at her background, she was an educator, right? Now, I'm sure, I say this with all due respect, she's too old to get back into that field, or maybe she's just had enough. Maybe she wants to live out the twilight of her life, low key, so to speak. Maybe he's the issue. Maybe he's the issue, and she just said, "Hey, come on. We've reached the end of our road." And sometimes a woman just gets tired of your shit. So I can be objective. Most males are not men. You've heard me say that for decades. Most males are not men. Just because you have a tool, and a scrotum does not mean you're a man. If you cannot teach morals, ethics, and values to your offspring, and you think society is supposed to do it, while you're playing a PlayStation, you might be the problem. Food, peace, and self-care. I got your donation. okay, Star buys his bleaching cream from Yardies in BK. Well, sir, I don't bleach. I've joked around about bleaching, but I have these same, similar pigmentation to some people. If I don't get sun, then I get lighter. But when I'm out and about getting a lot of sun, I get darker. But thank you for your donation. Okay, someone has been on hold for a while here. Hang on a second. Let me go to area code 305. Thank you for tapping in. We're talking about Linda Mathis has filed for divorce or a showrunner topic. Are you there? 3.
Yeah, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good evening. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah. So this Hades, man, with the tap in.
Hey, man.
With the Judge Mathis, I'm not like fully up to speed. I guess I'll give a take on it.
Okay.
I think he just got done with his show, and they had to cohabitate, in a longer term than they've been doing because he's been busy. And just as they've gotten around each other, she realized, woke up and was like, yeah, I can't be around this guy. I can't be around this man. We've done our marriage. We've had our kids. You've had your career. It's time to go our separate ways. Cut me my check. I think that's what happened with that.
That's possible. Can I ask, how old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay. With all due respect, don't follow my lead. I live a different type of life. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. I date women at my leisure. I'm more concerned with traveling and still spoiling myself. I've been a spoiled kid since the 70s. However, I do respect men and women who commit to raising a family and they endure certain things and they sacrifice for those beautiful little life forces. My mother and father made sacrifices for me and my older brothers. So I do respect people who do that. But do you think it's that easy after 39 years, as you just said, to wake up and say, I'm done?
I mean, yeah, because what's the next milestone? What's the next big event or the next big thing that's going to come for them in their marriage other than just spending quality time and, and then you get sick or something and that's the end. There's nothing really left. I don't see like a spark. They've been married for 39 years. Like you said, raised a family. Mm-hmm. He's had a career. His career is over. They've had money. So, any type of leisure, things like that, they're not hurting. There's nothing left. There's no spark left. If he's trying to find a spark with someone else or she's trying to find a spark with someone else, either one, it's nothing left. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a big deal to leave at that point because everything that can be done has been done in the marriage. So.
Stay with me. I don't have the answers. I'm just speculating like you, but I think it's, for a woman at that age to file for divorce, it's, I don't know. I just find that to be a little odd, if you will. Usually a woman can ride it out. Women don't even mind sometimes if you slide off, as long as you don't bring the drama home. Don't bring the drama home. I'll overlook your transgressions. I don't mind.
Maybe he was bringing the drama home.
Could be. Maybe somebody
bringing Shorty home, or
maybe somebody showed up at the house. Somebody may have showed up at the house.
I mean,
come on.
Like, who is this? And this is so and so. I've been with her, and we're gonna go out back and do our thing. We'll see in a little bit. And then this is like, oh, this is too blatant. Kind of like the opposite of Chrissy and Jim Jones. Like she said, keep that out of my eyesight, keep that out of my mind. But he may just be strutting through the house. I mean, I don't know. But I'm saying just from her perspective and both sides, there's just nothing left. I mean, nothing left to do.
Mm-hmm. And you're how old again?
They've done it.
You're how old again?
I'm 33. 33.
Have you ever heard of, I'm not even going to waste your time. Mary Jo Buttafuoco. You ever heard that name? Mary Jo Buttafuoco. You know that name? Know that name?
I know the guy. I remember he had
his name is Joey. But Mary Jo Buttafuoco.
Joey, yeah.
That's his wife. Do you know what happened out there in Long Island, New York, years ago?
Nah. I'm not up on that. What happened?
A 17-year-old girl named Amy Fisher, 1992, rang the doorbell and shot Mary Jo in the face. Pow!
Woo! Oh, okay. Well,
now maybe one of these young Glorilla type, or one of these little Sukihana bitches ran up on Linda Mathis and said, "Bitch, I'm giving you, 30 days, or I'm gonna pop your top." It's my nigga now. I mean, anything is possible with these little ratchet girls today, these little city girl types. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, that could be like I say, that's wild. But I mean, if it's not confirmed, it's not confirmed if he's with another chick. I mean, it could be, like you said, it's just speculation. It's so much that could be up in the air. That's why I'm thinking it's just a little bit more simple. It's done. They're done. We had our run, the kids, the house, the money, all that. We did all that.
Yeah.
And now it's just time. We can't cohabitate. We can't keep going. Yeah.
I appreciate the call. You want to chime in about tethers versus FBA or no?
Yeah, that's what I was really calling in about. I just wanted to, because you said earlier, people are like, the FBAs, I'm FBA, I'm black, I'm from America, I'm from the South.
Okay.
FBA, we keep calling in, I see we're on the same side, but just you said earlier, give some stats or give some type of source.
Yeah.
And that's what I was looking at.
Come on.
So the one thing I'm just going to focus on, and very simple, is that with Black Americans, this was published July 5th of this year. Okay, in 2022 research, 17.1% of Black people live below the poverty line. That means that 83% live above the poverty line.
Right.
Out of the total taxpayers in America, 83% of them are considered white Americans. The other 13% are Black Americans. So any type of tax-funded, any type of public housing, the welfares and all this, they keep throwing that, Black people have no jobs, all this. 83% of our people are not in poverty. They're working people. They pay taxes. They go to work, have a normal life. Mm-hmm. Not everybody is through the lens of the social media and the rap entertainment. Right. That's not all FBAs. Right. That's what's put out there on a consistent basis, a constant basis.
Propaganda.
But that's not all of us.
It's propaganda. Yeah.
Oh, say that again.
It's propaganda. It's a lot of propaganda.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's propaganda. So just FBAs that's tuning in right now, just keep in mind, follow just certain things like that. The source of where I got the information, that's taxfoundation.org, and that's also Statista, which these are aggregated sites. They aggregate national census data, for different demographics. But for Black people, only 17% of us, it's high. 17% is high compared to other demographics, but our demographic itself, not all of us are on that type of time. We're not all poor. We're not all out here. Right. We're just normal Americans. We're FBA, and we're doing our thing, man. That's why I want to chime in, give a little stat, give a little source.
I appreciate what you just said, but now you do know that there is a permanent underclass, right?
I do understand that. And that's where the initial question you said, are tethers winning? And they think they're winning the battle. No, they're not, because they're going to be that permanent underclass that you just referenced.
Okay. But now Dr. Claude Anderson, in his book Powernomics, he was talking about, he predicted, not that that's some great thing, but he's a man of knowledge, and he predicted a permanent underclass by a certain year. I think it was the mid-90s. I forget. And I'm trying to figure out if he was referring to FBA becoming that permanent underclass. Do you know? Or if not, I'll do my own research here whilst I take other calls.
Oh, that specifically, no. I'm not familiar with who you just referenced. In terms of the permanent underclass, I do understand that in a greater concept in itself, that is coming and that is possible. Yeah. Whether or not that'll be FBA or if it'll be certain white Americans, or if they'll get rid of the entire racial demographic piece and just go by number. Okay. You're low income, you're middle, you're high. And then if you're in the low, no matter what race you are, that's where you're going to be. Right. And,
right.
So,
I appreciate the call, sir.
Hey, Star, salute to your show, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody want to clarify in Powernomics, the national plan to empower Black America by Claude Anderson? What year did that book come out? I forget. I scanned through it, I can't say I did any in-depth research. What year did he speak about the permanent underclass becoming a reality? Anybody want to call in, chime in? I'm familiar with the ISIS papers by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, but Powernomics is not a book that I can say I referenced, but I do remember him speaking about a permanent underclass. Guys, sit tight on the phones. Peace. Shabon, I got your donation. Good to hear from you, sir. So I thought you were going to expose me last year. Peace to the God, Shabon. Oh my God. I'm not going to say what block you're from or what block I remember, but Far Rockaway. Peace. Yes, you and I went on jokes missions back in the days. Yes. Tell. You tell, I'll tell. I tell on myself, God, but good to hear from you. Super Chat Fat says, Joe Brown won. Judge Mathis was tapping Eartha Kitt looking booty while Joe Brown was tapping that big. Okay. I'm not sure who you're talking about, sir, but thank you so much for your donation. Let me look in the live chat real quick. Guys, Powernomics. What year did... Okay. But he spoke about a permanent black underclass. And what year did he say that was going to become a reality? Somebody from Far Rockaway, Queens says, Star, I remember you with your DEA jacket and Red Firm projects. You're a low-life piece of SHIT. I cannot confirm nor deny, sir, what you're talking about, but thank you for tapping in. John Blaze, good to hear from you. Are you tapping in, sir? John Blaze says, salute to Tethers, missing one arm out of the Congo. John Blaze, you want to call in and promote your platform? John Blaze has great content for those who, frequent my community section. Boasted Liberty Network got your donation. Judge Mathis may have been hiding a boy, perhaps. Yeah, I didn't get into that yet. How old is he? He's in his 60s. He's at that age where, he could be tired of the coochie, looking for something different. Somebody's watching tranny porn. Somebody's out here patronizing these niggas with the wigs. Okay, born in 1960. What do you think, troll babies? Did he find comfort in the bussy? And his wife just said, that I cannot do. I am so out of here. Area code 901. Good evening. Talking about a few topics on a Friday night.
Star, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Hey, how you doing, Star? I called in about LVA.
Okay.
And versus Tether. This is really Riches, by the way, man.
Okay.
What's up?
How are you, sir?
What I have to say is that Tethers, they coming together. They trying to assemble together and take over the country. That's their plan. But they won't win the war. They're not winning the battle as of right now. They won't win the war. The reason why I say that is because they're not willing to go there with us FBAs for real.
Can you elaborate? They're not willing to go where exactly?
I live up here in Tether land.
Okay.
Tether, they only live in one area of this country for the most part. Most of them only in one area, and that's the East Coast.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from the South, but I live up here in Massachusetts. Yeah, so the Tethers, I socialize with a lot of them because I'm up here with them, and I listen to their ideas and the way they look at things, the way they come about things. Mm-hmm. They a lot of them are business owners, mm-hmm. and they kind of had that spirit in them where they feel like they could take over. They kind of. I actually heard one of them straight up say, "I want to take over America."
Oh yeah,
Haitian guy.
Yeah,
Haitian guy.
Yeah,
Haitian guy said that. But they're not willing to go there with us because for the most part, like FBAs, our culture is troublesome. Along with the good, I had say that because it's true. They know that. They know that about us. But at the same time, we have a lot of well-to-do. Like the other guy was saying, we not all of us living in poverty, but the same thing at the same time. We with the. I don't want to curse, but we get with it, like for real, like whatever.
Well, hang on a second. Hang on a second. When you say they don't want to go at it, how'd you phrase it again? They don't want to what with FBI?
They don't want to go there. They only live up here on the East Coast. They not trying to go to the South. They don't want to go the way they act up here. The way they carry themselves, they won't be able to go down south.
Okay, well, okay. Now hang on a second.
Talk about taking over the country. You can't talk to no man from Texas. You can't say that in Texas.
But now, is it fair to say that tether behavior has infiltrated the South, and you've got males who are not proud to be men? I mean, if you look at Atlanta, holy smokes, is that FBA behavior with all those guys down there with those long acrylic fingernails? Sheesh. What is that?
Man, I don't really too much speak on LGTB, whatever.
So I ain't scared. Let's talk about it. We got black men in the South, sir, with long acrylic nails, keying, switching.
Yeah. What's with that? Honestly, I don't know what's with that, man. I'm a heterosexual man. I don't understand. I don't get it. It's 2024 and I don't get it.
Well, let me speak on it since you don't want to speak on it. You sound scared. If you ask me, that's tether behavior. It has infiltrated FBA areas that used to be, what is now considered to be toxic masculinity. So you've got people running amok now, and you've got people who are openly promoting that type of behavior. Listen, I don't care who you love. I don't care if you lick a hole, if you suck a pole. But if you're trying to program the babies or you're trying to influence the babies with certain type of behavior, unethical behavior, I have to at least call you out. What say you?
I respect that. I respect that. Like you said, maybe I am scared. I just don't. I don't pay that. I don't pay that side of society no mind. Honestly, like, because I don't understand it, and they kind of they getting their weight up out here and everything, man. It's like, man, I don't pay them folks no mind. I can't speak on it to the point where I can't even speak on it.
Well, sir, I remember the old Jamaicans I used to run with and associate with. You know what they call that type of behavior? Fuckery.
Something like
fuckery.
You say what?
Fuckery. You don't even want to talk about it. Hey, I'll let you finish up, man. I appreciate your donation. Go ahead.
Yeah. LBA all day.
Okay.
They tethers can't. They not gonna win no battle, no war versus us. LBAs. We. This is our country. This, some of us, have different, ideas. Some of us feel like we didn't even come here on no slave ships.
Okay.
So that's all I gotta say.
Relly Riches, I appreciate your donation, man. Salute.
For sure.
Yes, sir, for sure. At least he admitted to being scared. If you're scared, say you're scared. Thank you for your patience. Are you there on a Friday night? 760. Good evening. In 5.
Yes.
4.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I can. Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Where do you want to start?
I want to talk about the tether versus FBA.
Okay.
But with a twist, because I'm Hispanic.
Okay.
So I just I want to say, so I want to give props to Tariq Nasheed because I used to be one of those guys that, I used to say,
Well, sir, FBA is a lineage. Let's not make it about Tariq Nasheed. I mean,
No. What I'm mentioning him is because listening to him,
okay,
he made me realize that, yes, the lineage FBA people, they do deserve the reparations.
Okay.
I used to be one of the people that used to say, like, no, it's just a dumb idea. Everybody pays taxes.
Okay.
Why should they get a portion? But, then start listening to him. And one thing that I really, because one of the main things that people say to argue against reparations, they say, well, you didn't suffer, so why you should get the money?
Okay.
But then every month you see on the news, like, they kill like a black person, for example, and even though they're dead, the family sues the sheriff's department, the city, and they get a big bag. So that's when the lineage comes into place. Like, yes, their great grandfathers are probably passed away, but they suffer. So why shouldn't the state, the federal government, just repay the debt that they owe to that family?
Okay.
So now the point when it comes to FBAs and tethers, I don't think tethers have an incentive with FBAs because, like you said, and like Tariq says, it's based on lineage. So they're not gonna get any cut from the back, right? And I think my point of view as a Hispanic is that because I'm seeing, especially FBAs, I don't want to say FBA, but a lot of the Black Americans, they still vote in Democrats.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't understand what they're doing because really their number one problem right now is all the immigrants that are coming over the border because what they don't realize is in 20 years from, like, you can see right now the politicians, they pander to Black Americans whenever they need their votes every election. But in 10, 20 years from now, the number of Hispanics is going to be so big that they're not even going to have to pretend to pander.
Right.
Because the numbers are just doesn't add up. Like, if you really want the politician's attention, you either need the numbers, which as the years go by, they start losing numbers, or you need the power influence, like the small hats, which they don't have. So I think that they should focus on like getting like somebody that really is anti-immigration. And like you said, all the programs, the housing, all the grants, like you said, you see Chicago, New York, Seattle, like all the immigrants, they don't even pay taxes and they get all this stuff for free. While like you have Black Americans on the streets, just like, without jobs, without it makes no sense. Like they're literally voting against their own self-interest.
Okay, now let me jump in. I appreciate your patience and I can appreciate what you've just said. How old are you?
I'm 33.
Are you Puerto Rican? You said you're Hispanic. What is your...
Yeah, I'm from Ecuador.
Ecuador, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
A shithole, yes.
Well, no, I mean, listen, there's a lot of shitholes, but
yes.
So you can understand the FBA struggle, and that I commend you for that. But at the same time, are you trying to join the losing team? Because if you ask me, it's an uphill battle. You have a lot of FBA who know and understand the truth, but they don't put boots to the ground, and they're crying always when some type of tragedy happens. I'm half FBA, but we have to be objective here. So you yourself, at your young age, are you trying to join the FBA struggle? I mean, you wouldn't be entitled to reparations. You know that, right?
Yeah, of course. 100%. Like if it would come down to like a referendum and I had to vote, 100% I would vote for FBAs to get their back. But you see, that's the thing. Like I like a couple of years ago, I didn't even knew about it. Like, and when I first heard it, I heard the idea of reparations. I was like, it makes no sense.
Right.
And then when I started like paying attention, like, you know, people, that's what I give props to Tariq, because if you're open minded and you're like really pay attention, another thing that really makes me think about reparation, I was like, yeah, of course, it's like a good idea, because, you know, I used to think like, why are we gonna give our tax dollars to, like, you know, everybody pays taxes? But then I started paying more attention to politics and realizing how much money we send overseas, like what, $150 billion to Ukraine, all this money to Israel, all this money to like countries like in the Middle East. Then I'm like, dude, like the money is there, man. Like that's what it's.
Well, Israel deserves that money, sir. Let's not start talking reckless, okay? But now, hang on.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Hang on. So you're from Ecuador, born there, or you came here at a certain age?
Born there, yes.
Okay.
There.
And you came? Are you in Ecuador now, or are you in the States?
No, I'm in the States, California. Yes.
How long have you been in the States?
Like 15 years.
Okay. So with regards to where you're from and what you're doing here now, do you have a job or a career? There is a difference.
A job.
Do you see?
Yeah, I have a job. I don't have a career yet.
Are you married? Do you have children, little mouths to feed?
No, single, no children.
So you're young. You're hanging out with slurs. You may be a weekend warrior with some type of narcotic, allegedly. I don't know, but you're young. You know, you're smashing slurs, and it's, you know, you're enjoying America, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I know, if I'm ever gonna have kids, I need a, like you said, a career. Like I'm not gonna have kids and not being able to support kids in the family.
You're from a different mindset and a different culture. But now let's keep it real. And you know, you don't have to say things to think I'm expecting a certain answer. When you do have kids and you get married, more than likely she will be from Ecuador. Yes?
At this point, I don't really care. I think the first couple of years,
your family cares.
You know,
your family cares.
Yeah, they do.
They care.
Of course they do.
You can have your,
but like
you
me
can
personally,
you can have your fun with the big butt FBA girls, and you can lay down with those dirty Puerto Rican girls, right? But when it comes time to get married and make babies, they want you to do the right thing, and that's get one of your own. Yes.
I guess that preferably yes, but I have I already have a brother and he's engaged to a small hat, so like they really don't care. Like to be honest.
Okay. Well, that's an upgrade for him. Let's keep it real.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, I can appreciate you sympathizing with FBA, but at some point you're going to have to shake off the yoke, so to speak, you know, and worry about your own.
Oh no! I worry. I worry on my own.
Yeah.
But I think my perspective is just give the people out there an example that yes, you can convince, you can persuade people, like even immigrants and Hispanics, like to support your struggle. But at the end of the day, if you don't have the power to change the rules, or if you don't have the numbers to kick people out of office,
right.
Nothing's gonna happen, basically. Yes.
Right. I appreciate the call, man. Thank you for tapping in. Stay in touch. You're from Ecuador. Stay in touch.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Thank you. You see, folks, I want people to speak freely. I'm going to throw you a couple of curveballs. Pause. But I don't have to have the last word. I'm not a know-it-all. I'm a high school dropout. You know this already. John Blaze, I see you, sir. Sit tight. John Blaze coming up. 415. Sit tight. Going to make sure I'm promoting my sponsors and the showrunner. YouTube.com/@Spirit Smooth Tunes, one of the best channels. The playlists are incredible. YouTube.com/@Spirit Smooth Tunes. He gives you knowledge. He and his beautiful wife, they do the playlist together. History lessons, as always. And, I forgot to speak about Tyrese and the Teddy Pendergrass film when we did the show on Tyrese acting. He was acting on the Breakfast Club, but I'm sure Spirit may have the detailed information about Tyrese, whether he is or isn't going to do the Teddy Pendergrass film, right? Where is John Blaze? Is John Blaze in the queue? This might be him right here. Area code 415, is that John Blaze? Yes, no, maybe?
John Blaze on the check-in.
Good to hear from you, sir. Where do you want to start on the topics tonight?
You mentioned Dr. Claude Anderson, and I ran downstairs to my little small library, which I'm a read nigga, just like yourself.
Yes.
But it was interesting that, the ashy foot Africans want to call in and say that they like to go ahead and support those FBA. But I don't want to get there. But you actually are correct, because when you look at, I can recommend 3 books for the ashy foot African, which would be Dr. Claude Anderson's book, Black Labor, White Wealth. And then he also has another book, Dirty Little Secrets, about the Black history, its heroes and other troublemakers. But Powernomics, the National Plan for Empowering Black America, was an interesting one that you brought up, because I think that you have thrown a bunch of curveballs to which the answer. Yeah. You see, and he was correct, and to which he did speak about the future of Black Americans in this country, to which his book analyzed the complex web of racial monopolies and Black America's inappropriate behavior patterns that are driving it into a permanent underclass status, to which you are correct. Now, you knew the answer, but you was throwing that out to get the phone call. You see, I know what you're doing. You're not sitting there. You're sitting. You're playing dumb.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that respectfully.
Okay.
You know the answer. You knew the answer, but you wanted. I was sitting back. I was waiting for somebody to call also. And I ran down.
And here you are.
Go ahead.
And here you are.
And I appreciate the conversation, because I'm only the spectator, but I'm also the individual that want to sit back and listen to those who have the critique when it comes to Dr. Claude Anderson's national plan to empower Black America, to which the book itself was proposing new concepts to teach Black new ways, I guess you can say, in terms of economics. You see, but you are absolutely correct, because he talked about in many of his interviews, to which he talked about the behavior patterns that are driving Black Americans into a permanent underclass by the 90s, by 2000. You were absolutely correct, because the book actually gave the plan for it. I don't want to, take up too much of your time.
If I can jump in, hang on, John Blaze, if I can jump in, and I like when you speak freely, there's no rush here. I can only ride with FBA for but so long. I'm 60. I got one foot in the grave. So yes, the patterns and the behavior, I look at things, and I mean, I'm getting older, but I'm not old in my mind. I wake up, I'm healthy. I don't take no pills and stuff like that. And I'm like, God damn, some of this stuff I just can't rock with. I know that the propaganda exploits Black people. It has since the design, since the programming and the design of the news, bringing it into the family homes. I know this already, but some of this stuff is self-inflicted, and it's just like, God damn.
Absolutely.
Do you really want, if you knew better, you do better, but God damn. I had to say that. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, but you're speaking straight facts, because you are bringing into the conversation with Claude Anderson, to which he argues that the Black condition right now, he obliterates the myths and illusions of Black progress and brings together data and information from many different sources to construct a framework for solutions of a dilemma in Black America. And then, you are trying to put the conversation on the table, but I don't think, I'm looking at the comments in the actual. That's the reason why I called, because of the comments in the chat. They are actually giving the answers, but I was waiting for the phone call. But, you know, when you look at the book itself, and I could, like I said, go to Black Labor and White Wealth. You know, it's just not his book on powernomics. You know, he wrote many books, and these are books that I had to read in my higher learning in terms of when I went to college. But, you know, Dr. Claude.
Good book.
You know, yeah, it's a fantastic book. I can know he offers the insights and analysis and actions to which Blacks can take to redesign core areas of their own individual life. And that comes down to their goddamn education. That comes down to their goddamn economics. It comes down to their goddamn politics and their religion and the worship of a white God to which they think that white God is going to go ahead and provide them some wealth out of the heavens. You know, and it really don't really work that way in terms of the other classes of race, in terms of how they build their economic structure. Their economic structure is just not them going to a pulpit, getting on their knees and worshiping for something to drop out of the skies for them, you know? But, you know, it is the empowerment and tools that Dr. Klein presented in the book, to which he went and had defined what a new culture of empowerment that can be, to which tools to design to I guess, to counter your spiritual or beliefs in terms of how you were raised, coming from, I guess, the background of, I guess we can say, slavery. You know, we use the term of FBA, and I try not to subscribe to it too much. Okay. I understand that both my parents are from that background, but you just hit it on the nail in terms of where we're at right now, where the group that we're at now. Listen to the music that we're putting out. Listen to the promotion of drugs into our community, and then we want to complain about a police officer beating our asses every day.
If I can jump in for a second, John Blaze. If I can jump in for a second, you know, again, I'm not interested in getting married, and as much dirt as I kick, I spread it out evenly. It's evenly, but I've often said, in my opinion, the best mothers are Jamaican mothers. They instill a hardcore ethic and education in their children, at least the ones I came up with. So if I had to go in that direction, I'd marry a Jamaican woman, not a woman from FBA. I'm just being honest. Go ahead.
Well, I understand, and my assumptions are is because, you know, you wanted to go ahead and have somebody who had the I guess the principles and the foundations to how they'll create a great deal of importance on building industries in Black communities that are constructed upon groups and competitive advantages. I don't see that within the Black community in America. You'll find that in Black communities within the Caribbean, to which they come to this country and they'll open up those particular shops and stores. But when it comes to us building that wealth, that stopped a long time ago. You know, we don't have that right now. But I mean, we can go in depth. We can talk, and I would love to have this conversation in depth, but it will be a long conversation, man. I just called in just to follow up on just the conversation you was having about Claude Anderson, because that's a brother who I actually respect tremendously, because I've one of my favorite books that he wrote was The Dirty Little Secrets about Black history, as heroes and other troublemakers. You got to, the readers or the listeners got to go ahead and pull this dude up and read all his books, because his books are examining the history that showed how racism has locked and boxed Blacks into a near permanent underclass, to which you already told them, but you was throwing a curveball to which I hope I hit it out of the park.
You did,
you know?
You
That's
did.
all, man.
And I appreciate the call, John Blaze.
That's all.
Thank you, man.
Salute.
Yep. If I have to go in that direction, I'm gonna marry a Jamaican woman and let her work that little nigga's mind, or the girl. Oh, any Jamaican mothers in the live chat? I love the way I shouldn't say this. Well, again, the older Jamaican women, how they would, you know, just put hands and feet on their Jamaican daughters early on a Saturday morning as they're cleaning the house. It's different now. You got people who just allow all sorts of nonsense, and they have this thing now where they want to be friends with the children. No, I'm not your friend. I'm your goddamn father, or I'm your mother. I'm not your friend. Just want to say that. Blade, I got your donation. Blade, I've got options, man. I've looked at some small yachts. I'm enjoying Emerald Isle right now. I'm in no rush to go back up north. I've got some options. I move at my own pace. I just came to the conclusion after doing some real good research, and I paid someone, a consultant. I came to the conclusion I don't want to buy any condos in Myrtle Beach based upon the HOA fees and other things. But thank you for tapping in, Blade. Guys, sit tight on the phones. I'm coming to you next. Mike, I got your donation. Star, why don't FBA sue descendants of slave masters? Well, sir, I've been asking or suggesting, that people file more lawsuits, and that's one of them. I don't have the answer. I think that FBA, Foundational Black Americans, should stop talking when someone gets shot down, in the streets, or some type of traffic infraction. Stop talking. Don't forgive anybody. Don't do that whole goofy thing. I forgive you. You murdered my son, but I forgive you. No, don't forgive. Sue everybody. But thank you for your donation, Mike. Okay. Let's get back to the phone lines here. Has this person been on hold? I'm not sure. Area code 689. Did I speak to you yet? I think you were in the queue for a while. 689. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes. Yes. Can you hear me clear, Star?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yes. I'd like to go to all the topics. We can start at the Judge Mathis.
Can you make the adjustments? Your phone sounds kind of echoey. Are you on a headset or a speaker? Can you make the adjustment?
Okay. Does this sound better?
There you go. Yes, sir. Where do you want to start? Go ahead.
Okay, we can start at the Judge Mathis because everything that you put on the table, I have a different perspective on all of them.
Please. His wife, Linda,
filed
for divorce.
Okay, well, I was looking at it because when we're talking about the age, right? I mean, technically, she was 22 when they got together, right? You look at it. Okay, she got married early. Probably didn't get to rock out the way she wanted to. Okay. Had kids, then he got successful. So she had to play her role to keep his success going. Okay. Her kids were already moved on. She's stuck in there trying to, keep the household good, because if she left, that may put a kink in the armor on her bag and his bag.
Okay.
So she may have just said, you know what? I'm gonna keep this going. But once the show ended, I'm 61.
Right.
That's what she's probably thinking. I'm 61. You got women with the Viagra now too. It's not just the men.
Okay.
Maybe she's like, I didn't get to do this in my youth. He's not putting it down no more. He hasn't been around because he's been with the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's my time. So let me get out of this while I still have that moment.
Yeah. He might have, what is that stuff they call erectile dysfunction?
Erectile dysfunction, or like they say, women peak basically almost 20 years later than a man. So since she's been sitting at home, she's been holding that peak. Now she's ready to rock out. Okay. I see. Listen, I was born in Harlem, raised in the Bronx.
Okay.
Right now I'm down in Harlem. Now I'm down in Florida. And I'm down by the villages.
Okay.
These old people from 60s to the 80s, they get on this Viagra. They are rocking out to the point they're getting STDs like crazy.
Wow.
They're rocking out.
Wow.
They crashing out. You could look at the statistics. It's one of the biggest cities now growing with STDs, and it's elderly, and it's an elderly community.
Okay.
Why? Because you know what? They looked at now that they have that opportunity to do what they couldn't do, and in this day and age, it's acceptable. I mean, social media shows that. Hey, they showing every commercial. They showing young, old people taking with that Viagra, Cialis, whatever. Right. I see young and old.
I've never taken any of that stuff. I've never had any issues. But now, hang on.
I've never even.
Hang on a second. I can respect what you're saying. Yeah, she got married very young. But now, after 4 kids, I'm sure grandkids, you change. So where is she going to go hang out? She's not going to go down to the Bahamas for a weekend with the girls. Her friends probably have, orthopedic shoes. She's got another friend who, needs some type of, what do you call that? Some type of fibrillator or something like that. So it's not like she's going to go with girls down to Mexico to get to what, like Stella got her groove back. No, she's way past that. Way past.
No.
So hang on. I want to say this one thing. I'll let you finish up. So do you really?
No. Go ahead.
So do you really think that sex drove her out of the marriage, out of a life of comfort and security? Sex?
No. I'm not saying that it's always only got to be sex.
Okay.
Remember, if she's been with him 39 years and she got with him at 22, she's been there. So she was probably in the house raising those kids.
Okay.
39 years. Now you got one of the kids is almost as old as when they were married. So they probably got married because she got knocked up.
Okay.
You got to think, well, all that time she's been by, and then while he's been doing his thing and growing, she may have been festering thinking, I put my life aside.
I got all that, sir. But now hang on a second. You kind of rounded this out to, you spoke about sexual activity in something and STDs.
No, I said that she may be lacking that.
Even still, hang on a second, sir. I'm going to give you the last word. Even still, that's what made her file for divorce. I can't agree with that theory. And let me just say this. For the most part, women are emotional, but they're not. They're not stupid. Males usually make the stupid decisions. A female will ride it out. She'll know that you've got erectile dysfunction. She'll know that you're close to death, and she'll ride it out. I don't see this woman divorcing him because she wants somebody to find her G-spot. If anything, she...
No.
I'll let you finish, sir. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anything, she's going to lay in the cut. Let that nigga die. or even kill him. Put some iodine in his orange juice. and then she gets everything. I don't agree with your theory about wanting to get her freak on. But go ahead, finish up.
No, but see, it's you're missing my point. I'm not saying that that's solely the basis. I'm saying is that could be one of the things, because here's it. Like I said, if she's been sitting in the background raising a kid.
Sir, we heard you say all of that. We heard that. You don't have to repeat yourself.
Right. Well, okay. So now she's like, well, she don't have to sit in the cut no more because his show is over. His time is done. So now she can go and live her best life. Gotcha. Okay. She don't have to sit in the background behind him.
All right. I appreciate the call, sir. I gave you the last word.
No, thank you, and you have a great evening,
yes, sir. You too. Yeah. I totally disagree with his theory. Now would not be the time to leave him. That's something a younger couple does. Oh, you got somebody else? I'm out of here. This woman is a former educator. She's probably cooking that nigga's food in lard. hoping he has a stroke or an aneurysm. Lord, putting breakstone butter on the niggas' sandwiches. Here you go, baby. And giving his ass a Mountain Dew. Okay, Blade, I got your email. Thank you for tapping in. Okay. Brianna. Hi, Brianna. She says pick up 209. Where is Brianna? I don't see you in the queue. Did I think I may have missed your call. So sorry, Brianna. Do you want to call back? Area code 240. Are you there? Friday night, 240?
Yes, yes, sir. You crazy.
Hey, can you hear me?
Crazy.
240.
Hello? Yeah, I'm here.
Yes. How are you, sir? Where do you want to start?
I want to start with the Judge Mathis thing.
Please. His wife, Linda, filed for divorce after 39 years.
Well, what I wanted to say is, if we been paying attention to history, we all know that a woman like this that been married 39 years has been putting up with infidelities, I'm sure, or side situations from a man, a popular judge as itself, a celebrity, so to speak.
Okay.
But I'm thinking something so egregious has happened in this marriage that she is not able to continue. And I was watching.
Well, sir, can you tell us what you think? And with all due respect, I mean, if you're watching somebody else's channel, that's fine. But what do you think was so egregious at 61 to pull the plug? And she said that they've been only separated since July. This is August, sir.
Yeah, the July, and I was about to say I was watching the internet, and his son, Greg Mathis Jr. Was openly married to his fiance in July, and I was wondering, did that happen to have anything to do with what's going on now? I would think that was very timely for both of those things to happen in the same month. And you had a.
Can you explain, sir? I don't get the connection. Greg Mathis Jr. getting married in July.
Yes.
Okay. How does that correlate with the separation of Judge Greg Mathis and his wife, Linda?
Well, you had a story on Marcus Jordan and the traits between spouses having to pass between father and son or mother and daughter. And I was just thinking maybe Greg Mathis is a closeted homosexual. And that is indeed the most egregious incident that she cannot continue or put up with. That's my theory.
Okay. We made reference to that earlier, that could have been or could be a plausible theory, but
I believe that is a deal breaker for a black woman of her age. I believe she couldn't continue, or maybe she couldn't continue on like this, and she refused to continue on with the man that would disrespect her marriage in such a way.
Can I respond to what you've just said? I'll give you the last word.
Yes, sir.
I disagree. That woman is from my generation, 61 years of age. Linda Mathis, again, former educator. I don't think that's a deal breaker. If anything, I see her staying in the relationship and blackmailing him. If he's got a boy or if he's got a bottom, no 61-year-old black woman is going to throw it all away because he's slipping off, getting his butt cheeks blown out by some young tranny. No. Their sexual activities probably stopped 20 years ago. You know, once you have pounded out the coochie, or once you have received the tool over and over, I mean, the 20 years is a lot, let alone 30. You really, it's not even about that anymore, So I don't think that would make her say, I'm getting a divorce. You're gay now. If anything, that would be a plus for the two of them. But go ahead. I'm rambling. Go ahead.
Oh, well, maybe, and I'm theorizing here. Maybe now that Judge Mathis is retired,
okay,
his backdoor ways are now more upfront, and maybe she can't stand to see or deal with these type of situations 100% of the time. Because if he was away and these things were happening, she would never have to really face them. But now in his retirement, maybe she just cannot stand to deal with this, to see it every day.
How old are you, sir?
I'm 47.
I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I do know one thing about black women.
Mm-hmm.
They're emotional, but they're not stupid.
Right.
You hear me?
Right. Right. Yeah.
They're emotional, but they're not stupid. Again, I don't see her cutting him loose just because he may have a boy toy. Maybe he's bouncing around in some type of a new vehicle with a little nigga with a lace front. They lay in
maybe.
Well, hang on. They lay in the. What's that guy's name who was found in the hotel with the drug paraphernalia on the floor and the white escort? Andrew Gillum.
Yeah, out of Florida.
Did his wife divorce him?
No, she did not.
No, sir. Black women are emotional, sir, but they're not stupid. She ain't gonna let that bag walk out the door like that or be fighting for the money.
Well, maybe this is a Juanita Jordan play. Maybe we wait till his career is seemingly over and he's retired. Now we make the ultimate play.
Sir, Michael Jordan cut her loose. It wasn't the other way around.
Okay.
He cut her loose because he was a gambler. He had a fetish for white girls. He just got tired of her. And that's why he gave her all that money. He gave her half. He gave her half. So look, I just give you half. I just get away from you. Okay, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, he got off cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Star.
Yes, sir. Andrew Gillum. Hang on a second. Remember him, Andrew Gillum? Mayor of Tallahassee, Florida, from 2014 to 2018. Isn't he doing a podcast with Angela Rye or something like that? Boy, he embarrassed his beautiful black wife, and I think they got 3 kids. Hold on, everybody hold on for a second. Oh, man, a fellow FAMU graduate. I went to that college on one of my road trips, remember? How many children? He came out in 2020 as a bisexual man after he shamed her. There you go. Yeah, down there in Miami Beach. Big Aki, I got your donations. Thank you for tapping in, sir. Hold on a second. Big Aki says, I can't take Tether seriously. F out of here with your flags of corruption. Talking about how great it is where you're fleeing from. You're from a musty place. Okay. Big Aki also says, you know how funny that convo must have been? ? You want to divorce me at this age? You sound like a crackhead. LOL. I don't know. We put a couple of scenarios on the table here. I don't know. I don't know, but it seems odd. It seems odd. I hope she's okay. I hope she's not going through depression, any type of mental health issues. Okay, I don't see Brianna. I looked for you again. Sorry, Brianna, if you have another number, but I do appreciate your donation. Gangsta of Love tapping in. He says, here's a fact. 78% of scammers are African. Okay. 78% that are here in America or in the continent, Gangsta of Love. But thank you for your donation either way, okay? Okay. No, wait a minute. Okay, so you sent in a donation about Judge Mathis, his son, and his fiance, which is a guy. Okay, you didn't specify that. I saw two guys hugged up on Linda Mathis IG page. Khalid, peace, Khalid. Thank you for the email. You said you sent in a donation. Thank you so much. Yeah, on Linda Reese Mathis IG page, she's got that picture of their son and his fiance. So I don't think that she's homophobic. She's promoting her son and his love, another man. I don't know. I don't think, she's tripping if that is the case with Judge Greg Mathis. Again, to throw away the bag like that, I don't know. Area code 718, good evening. We're talking about Judge Greg Mathis, his wife filing for divorce, or Tethers versus Foundational Black Americans. Are you there? 718.
Hey, Star.
Hey.
Hey, yeah. Oh, so you found, because Judge Mathis's son is gay, but so we got that uncovered. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if they live in California, so if she divorces him, won't she get half?
Well, maybe she's entitled to have. Why are we looking at? Oh, hang on. Why are we looking at her as if she's some type of gold digger? 39 years of age.
No, I'm not. I'm saying you're saying she's throwing away the bag. I'm saying she could have the bag and not be around toxicity.
Okay. Continue on.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes you just want to be free of the BS, and so she knows she's going to get a certain amount of money.
Okay.
And I mean, that's actually what I have to say. And then also, just FYI, Vivica Fox hangs out with them. So maybe she wants to hang out with Vivica.
Oh, my God. I think that
Vivica.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Vivica Fox comes over for holiday events to the Mathis house.
Does she, or you're just guessing?
I've seen her there. She took pictures and everything. She talks about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So maybe she.
But, I mean, I'm not saying she has anything.
Maybe she does want to get out and get her groove on and fly down to, I don't know, the Bahamas and go to down there by the Keys and lay on the beach and get a tummy tuck. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe so. I don't know. I'm not making Vivica Fox a villain. I like Vivica, but I'm just saying they do hang. She is a friend of the family, and she's over there.
Good point.
On special events.
Good point.
So that's what I had to say. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's like, especially because I don't know if Judge Mathis, I don't kind of believe that he's gay, but he is very supportive of his gay son. But if he is gay, okay, Black women are emotional, but we're smart. But I mean, as a smart Black woman, I'd be like, okay, I'm ready to discard you, take my half, and be free of the toxic stuff. Like, you can't have a booty girl, a big booty butt boy, and be still coming and getting in my bed.
Mm-hmm. I doubt
it. I'm sorry, that can't happen.
I doubt if they even sleep in the same bed. They're from my generation.
Well, that's true.
If I keep saying if I get married, I'm definitely having twin beds or even separate bedrooms. I don't want to wake up to somebody every goddamn day and somebody at that age. If she's my age, got to smell old breath or somebody who eats a certain meal, or I ate a little spicy food. Pardon me, I got gas. Huh? Go another room.
That's part of marriage. You're supposed to spoon her, and then she fart on your penis.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just saying some marriages last like that, but it is good to. I don't see anything wrong with having separate bedrooms. Before my parents passed away, my mom was like she wanted a separate bedroom, and I was like, why? And she got mad at me because I was asking why.
Yeah.
But they never ended up getting separate bedrooms. They stayed in the same room until my father passed. But anyway.
Okay. Anything with regards to tethers versus FBA, Foundational Black Americans?
Well, I'm Foundational Black American. Okay. One little example. I had a friend. His family's from Haiti, but he was born here. And he was like feeling like he was entitled to reparations too. So we were getting an argument on the phone. And I'm like, that's like me saying I'm entitled to something that Haitians are entitled to. Like, why would you feel like you're entitled to that? And then I don't know. Some people get that in their mind when they get over here. So I have no idea, but that's all I have to say for tonight.
Well, hang on. Are FBAs losing the battle to tethers? That was my question early in the broadcast. Are you losing the battle? Not the war, but are you losing the battle? Because, it's not that everybody has to be on the same page, but there are certain cultural differences that we have to acknowledge about how the tethers do get on code. So are they losing the battle, FBA, to the tethers?
I think we're losing the battle to everyone, honestly, with all of the migrants, everybody coming in, and it's just they look down on Foundational Black Americans, like we're lazy, this, that, the other. They come over here, like you said. I guess I never heard, but they want to take over, and they don't have a good. They don't care for us, most of them anyway, that come over, like from any country, whether it's Africa, India, any Spanish country, wherever. So, I'm used to them, being racist against us because they know that this country is racist against Black people. So automatically they come over here with that in the frame of their mind.